Casting on. Today we're going to be discussing a long-tailed cast on. This is oftentimes referred to as a two-fingered or even a slingshot cast on. Before we begin, please make sure you have your slip knot on your needle, and also make sure that you have sufficient yarn in your tail to cast on the appropriate amount of stitches that your pattern calls for. A quick and easy way to figure out how many inches to have is to take the number of stitches that you need to cast on, divide it by the gauge, now multiply it by 4 inches. The ending number will be the amount of inches you need to have in your tail. For example, if you need to cast on 20 stitches and your gauge is 5 stitches to the inch, 20 stitches divided by 5 is 4. 4 times 4 inches is 16 inches. So I need to have 16 inches in my tail section in order to cast on 20 inches in order to leave enough at the end to weave in. It's kind of one of those equations that you just hold into your head, so practice it as you keep going along. Alright, here we go. Casting on. Please make sure that the tail end of your yarn is closest to you and that the strand that is attached to the ball is furthest away from you. What you're going to do is you're going to take the bottom 3 fingers of your left hand and you're going to grip those 2 strands. Once again, tail strand closest to you, ball strand farthest from you. Now you're going to take your thumb and your forefinger and you're going to split those 2 strands. I like to say splitting the uprights because I enjoy football. Anyway, so you can see why sometimes it's called a slingshot cast on. Now if you hold it this way, you'll notice that there are essentially 4 strands of yarn. The first is closest to you on the outside of your thumb, second inside of your thumb, the third inside of your forefinger, and the fourth way back here on the outside of your forefinger. What you're going to do is you're going to take your right needle, go on the outside of that first strand and pick it up, then now go to the outside of the third strand, or go to the third strand from the back side and pull it forward with your needle. Do you see how I'm doing that? I go to the back side of that third strand and I pull it forward with my needle. Now I'm going to drop the strands off of my fingers, and using my thumb I'm going to tighten up that cast on knot, and now I'm going to take my thumb and my forefinger and I'm going to split those uprights again. Now I'm ready to cast on another stitch. Outside of the first, back or the outside of the third, pull it through, drop them off and tighten it up. Take that thumb and that forefinger, split the uprights again, and you're ready to go. If you start to feel like your yarn gets loose and it's hard to do, just tighten it up. The tighter your yarn is, the easier it is to do a long-tailed cast on. Let's try that again. Go to the outside of that first strand, then to the back or the outside of that third strand, pull it through. Tighten it up, split those uprights if you need to, and you're back. Go to the outside of the first, the outside of the third, pull it through, tighten it up, split the uprights, and you're back. Outside of the first, outside of the third, pull it through, tighten it up, split those uprights, and you're back. If you notice, my bottom 3 fingers keep a nice firm grip on this yarn so that it gets as loose as I allow it. It stays as tight as I need it to be. Keep practicing that, keep doing it, and if you need other examples, please see my other videos.